Alright, so I'm in charge of planning a tournament for my team. Because they had this one big quad ball tournament, and we had this plan in mind, right? So we get the place from 8 to 4, 8 a.m., 4 p.m., right? So we wanted to have an event that had 8 teams, and we have 2 fields, right? So it's very simple. So we blocked it out as such, right? So we'd have 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4. There would be 2 games, 2 games, 2 games, and a lunch. 2 games, 2 games, 2 games, and a championship. So it's a very simple format, right? Now, I plan everything out and I'm like, this is perfect. And they hit me with this, hey, by the way, you know this time block you have right here? You don't got that. You don't got that no more. Well, I had this perfect plan going. So what am I supposed to do now? So now I'm here trying to struggle and I'm doing all this math like, okay, well, I have this many teams and they all have to play this many games. So now the math doesn't add up. So like maybe I give them 2 games. But it's not gonna work, right? Because I had everything planned so perfectly. And they just took a game away. And I can't do anything about it. So I'm like, fine, you know what? Maybe I cut it down to 6 teams, right? But if I cut it down to 6 teams, then what? You'd have all of these games played out with each of them playing 3 games, and you'd have this weird block, which I guess you could give them a 4th game, but then you're just picking one random team not to play, and then with the championship, playing 4 to 5 games is arguably too many. You don't want to tire out people, you don't want to cause injuries. So I'm really in a struggle here, right? So I'm in a stump, big stump, and then I realized something. I blocked it out for our games, because that's how every single tournament, that's how it's always been done. But if you use your head a little bit, you can get around that. So let's say I actually get to go in at 8:30 to do all the initial check-ins, right? But it'll actually start at 9. So forget what I just said, honestly. I have hour blocks, but the games themselves probably will only take 40 to 45 minutes. So if we're using our heads here, we slash the time. So we'll do 9 to 9:50 for the first game. Forget that weird colon I did right there. Yikes. We'll do 9:50 to 10:40, 10:40 to 11:30, and that's where we'll do our, our first. Wow, I suck at drawing sometimes. We'll have our first 6 games there. We make the lunch still that full hour because we're not evil and we want to make sure people eat, right? We start again at 12:30 to 1:40, wrong, 1:20, 1:20 to 2:10, 2:10 to 3, and then 3 o'clock to 4, where we can still have the same amount of games and the same amount of teams. We just basically just cut off some time because we have smaller fields than what is traditionally played, and the rules from last year are a little bit different. So as long as people are abiding to the rules, we have no reason not to follow this schedule. Basically what I'm trying to say is use your head and problem solve, think outside the box, because if this back here, when I had this, was my box, and this got taken out, well, I would be kind of screwed because things wouldn't just add up. But by choosing to look actively at things that I could change, I was able to retain the exact same format with less time. And that is problem solving 101 for you. Any questions? Camera person, do you have any questions?
No, that's pretty cool. I'm glad you can do this math stuff, because I can set up our technology and our cameras for the games. I can't do the math for the scheduling. I'm glad you're doing this. You're very good at this.
Yeah, fair enough. Because I mean, simply put, right? We had, we needed all of this, and we had, let's say this was 7 1-hour blocks. The math, the drawing is terrible. That is your thing. And let's just say that's all 1 hour, right? And I have this empty blob with nothing here. But I need to fill that up to do all the games because I need 8 equal periods, right? All I have to do is shave off a little bit off of each, not this one.
Yeah, lunch block still stays the same.
If I shave off 1/6 of each, this becomes 5/6, 5/6, 5/6 for all of these. Which means all these missing pieces become basically 1/6 times 6, which is just 6 over 6, which is 1.
The extra hour.
Correct. Math.
Cool.